code is triggering the Helm chart, right? So if you remember, we did not. So you want to turn off your microphone and speakers, and what I'm going to do, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to find the file. Okay, let me go ahead and show you that code. So in your Bastion host, you will have a certain folders. I will suggest you create that, and then within the folders, you can go ahead and clone everything. So in my case, I have a FujiCorp, and then common underscore tools, and this is the main repository we will be dealing with today. So, for example, if I'm gonna click on the Ingress controller, and do you see this model? I did not explain you before what it does, right? How to use it, how to use this Terraform model. I did not explain you that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open another folder, and then create the example Helm chart, and then deploy that Helm chart using Terraform, and then it's going to be more make sense to you. Does that sound good? Do you remember that I created a Helm chart for fsadikov, which is right now if you will go to fsadikov.fujicorp.com, it's publicly available and HTTPS, right? Do you remember this? We deploy it using Helm chart. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna deploy that exactly that code using Terraform, exactly with Terraform model, and then you will have a good understanding how this Terraform model works, and then how these charts are stored and how Terraform code is going to each folders and deploying the Helm chart. Does that make sense? Any questions before I jump to the code and then do it? Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and navigate to fsadikov. So this is the Helm chart. Let me put it in the right folders, which is going to be, and I'll go to computer projects. You guys mute, please. Somebody did not mute. No, you don't have to follow. Just watch. So you don't have a Kubernetes cluster. You don't have a some codes. That's why you don't have to follow. So this is the Helm chart that we used it previously to be able to deploy fsadikov.fujicorp.com in my case. And only thing what I did, I basically modify this line of the codes, right? Mm-hmm. And then it becomes HTTPS, and then it is publicly available and everyone is able to access the application. So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to deploy exactly this code using Terraform. So how Terraform will go to the vaults.yml and then read out all the information and then to the deployment. So usually on each deployments, so only thing what you have to do, you have to go ahead and create the main.tf. So main.tf, and inside the main.tf, you have to define that model definition. So in my case, I'm gonna reference to this one and then play around with that. So what I'm going to do, you can see the model is, in this case, it's going to be fsadikov. Let's go deploy. And then the source is going to be exactly the same location. This is our Terraform model. And then deployment name is going to be, again, here I'm going to use the exactly same strategy. I'm going to go ahead and say fsadikov. And then environment is supposed to be the namespace. So this is supposed to be the namespace. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and say dev for now. So later we're going to go ahead and replace that. So deployment endpoint. Do you see this deployment endpoint? This deployment endpoint, okay, let me explain you what is deployment name, deployment environment, and deployment endpoint, okay? So what we have, deployment name is going to be the Helm chart name. So that's going to be the release name when you run the Helm LS. So when you run the Helm LS, exactly this name will be referenced from here, deployment name. Does that make sense? Then we have a deployment environment. So that is going to be the namespace, and deployment environment is going to be the namespace, and also this will include it too at the end like this. So keep it unique. So in Helm 2, if you remember, Helm charts are supposed to be the unique name per cluster. In Helm 3, it doesn't matter. In the one namespace, supposed to be the unit numbers, unit name. So again, this Terraform model is developed for Helm 2 for now. Helm 2.16 is supporting 2.16, and then when we are doing the deployment, release name is going to be here, and then it will include at the end, it will include the whatever the namespace you provided here. Does that make sense? Then what do you have? Deployment endpoints. So deployment endpoint is going to be exactly the endpoint of the application. So how do you access the application? For example, fsadekov.kuchkov.com, right? So here you have to provide exactly the endpoint. Yes, means not the domain. You can think about exactly the, yes, kind of domain, yes. So then you have a deployment path. So deployment path, Helm chart is looking for this Terraform model is looking for the charts from the charts folder. So which means, as you can see right now, fsadekov is not inside the charts folder, right? So which means Terraform is going to fail. So in my current directory, you will look for exactly the folder and then try to find it. For example, I'm going to go ahead and say fsadekov here. And then what I will need to do, I will need to go ahead and create a folder charts, move fsadekov to the charts, and now, so code, Terraform code will go ahead and read the information from, it will go to charts and slash fsadekov. Does that make sense? It will go to this directory, and then it will look for that. So while we create a charts folder, within the one Terraform code, you will have a multiple Terraform deployments, right? So to organize everything, that's why we call a charts folder. And then whatever the file you're looking for, or whatever the charts you're looking for, it's supposed to be inside the charts.
So there's a normal reason why we use chart in the environment?
What do you
We
mean?
have a lot of folder and put in the chart to general.
Yes, if you have another Helm chart, you can go ahead and put it inside charts, and then copy exactly this code, and go to the next line and provide a new name, another name.
I see, okay.
So you can
to
deploy
make it
them.
more organized, we just.
Yep, inside the charts folder.
And deployment environment, you said is your namespace, right?
Exactly. So then deployment path is, as you can see, there's a path, and then custom template, custom vars is, you can think about this one is optional, that you don't have to provide this, you can go ahead and delete. Why we use this information? To be able to replace some information. So basically, before I explain this one, I will have to explain how the deployment endpoint is replacing inside vars that we know. So as you can see right now, it's getting the deployment name and deployment endpoint, and then deployment environment and the deployment endpoint, right? So how the Terraform code is going to the charts and then looking for that information and replacing it. That's going to be your question, right? So how is it doing? Basically, it is going to go to charts folder, and then from the charts, it's going to open the vals.yml. And from the vals.yml, it will look for variable called deployment endpoint. So currently, I don't have that. So I have to mention inside my code, for example, what is supposed to be the deployment endpoint. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and provide here, those curly brackets, and then deployment endpoint. So you can think about in Terraform, there is a template file. Do you remember that? Exactly same strategy we are using inside the Terraform. So this Terraform model is using exactly same strategy to be able to go to vals.yml, replace this information, and go back to go ahead and try to do the deployment. So right now I'm going to disable this, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and open the Terraform terminal in this folder. Terraform init, As you can see, I was able to initialize my Terraform. So right now, if I'm going to run the Terraform apply, so it will create the Helm chart, but the problem is we have already created Helm chart. So I have to go ahead and manually delete it to be able to make sure that Terraform knows exactly the code, right? So let me go ahead and run the Helm ls. Do we have that? Okay, we do. Helm delete -- purge, and then msadika, which is the old application is gone. So if you will navigate your application, it's not available anymore. So what I'm going to do here, you can see right now, we have this Terraform code and it's ready. What I have to do, I have to run the apply. And then if I'm going to say yes, if I'm going to go ahead and say yes, as you can see right now, it's doing the application deployments. And if I'm going to open another terminal and run the kubectl get pods -dev, as you can see, application fsadika-dev is running 7 seconds ago. And then Terraform code is successfully finished because application was successfully deployed. So if I'm going to go back to this page and refresh the page, as you can see right now, using Terraform, I was able to deploy this code. So what happened? Yes.
So I didn't get you. Why'd you like throw it and again redone?
I showed you how to deploy the application using Terraform.
Okay.
If you remember, we run the Helm command to be able to deploy the Helm chart.
Okay.
So right now, I use a Terraform to be able to deploy this code.
Okay, so do the difference.
Yes. So exactly same idea, but using Terraform. Now, why I show you this? Why I show you this? The reason why I show is this. Inside the charts, do you see this charts? Now you understand why we have a charts folder. Do you see this? Inside the charts folder, we have all list of charts. So we have a Vault, Spinnaker, Sonatype Nexus, SonarQube, parameters, and so on. Do you guys see this? Mm-hmm. So what are them? So using this Terraform model, we are going to this charts folder and then deploying all the codes using this Terraform model. So if you have to implement, for example, Spinnaker doesn't have Terraform model, and then parameters adapter doesn't have a Terraform model, for example, if you have to implement that to the command tools and make sure the command tools is deploying deploying automatically parameters adapter, do you know how to do it? Only thing what you have to do now, so if you have to deploy the parameters, you have to define the exactly same model next to this here, and you have to replace all the values and then make sure the paths, everything is correct, and then you will go ahead and deploy the parameters adapter.
So we have to change the source?
Source?
Is it primitive?
Source is going to be same. You never change the source. That's a Terraform model location, right? So do you understand that if you want to implement something, you have to define another model and then call that model with the right values, and then it will go ahead and create whatever needs to be deployed.
Do you have to put that in between models?
Between models, what do you mean by that?
In YAML file, we just put the code something like that, right?
Oh, no. In Terraform, you don't have to do that. So only YML it works with like this.
Yeah.
So when you are dealing with the YML, you will have to deal with it. So in case of Terraform, you don't have to do that. You can define anytime, anything what you want. So any other questions? Okay. So now you understand how Terraform code this works. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk through the one more time deployments, right? So if I'm going to How many of you have already Google account?
Never had.
Everybody, right? Okay.
We have to choose a
So-
new one.
I'm sorry.
I think we have to choose a new one.
So today, make sure you have a new account, and then I will give you the task that needs to be done. So you have to deploy the cluster infrastructure. You will need to deploy the cluster infrastructure. Then, as soon as you finish the cluster infrastructure, we will deploy Command together. Okay. So you won't need to deploy the cluster infrastructure by yourself. Try to deploy it. If you cannot, I mean, I give you all the information you should be able to deploy. Right.
Okay,
But I
now
think would be a
it's
good idea if you
Then
deploy
go ahead.
the cluster infrastructure and the common tools together, because everybody, I mean, can get some error and this will take a while to fix and be everybody on the same sheet.
Repeat again. What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
Deploy everything to what we need to, I mean, the setup together.
She's
We
saying if you're gonna
so
you are telling him to deploy and show you how to do it, so you're
No,
gonna follow the steps.
to do the same steps together, because everybody, if
It's gonna go.
So for
So,
example, $300, mine is expired, so I have to.
yes.
You have to-
Would you please open the new account? So right now, let's open the new account, and then what I'm going to do, I'm gonna slowly onboard you to the project, but just remember, you will not have an admin DevOps access. You will be just a member for now. As soon as you pass the interview, then you will be the full member. Okay. So right now, you will have just a cluster infrastructure access and the common tools. So let me go ahead and onboard to GitHub. So before I onboard to the GitHub, let me actually show you. Let me go ahead and create one file. So I want to get all this up. So see what you got there. Go ahead and create that. Okay, so make sure we have. Okay, I am going to share the list of people. Let me go ahead and get the link. One can. Right? Can you guys go ahead and put all list of usernames?
Username of the officer. Of
Yeah,
GitHub.
GitHub.
Start. I think you need to copy the copy key. You will need to.
Because
You go ahead and update on GitHub. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Add it in GitHub. That's it.
Oh, yeah. It's going to drop from my own.
Yeah, then, me, I don't have to do anything.
I don't know.
They have to do it.
If you add us before, should we put our name again?
Repeat again.
You onboard us before. Should we put our names in this
No.
list?
Don't have to do that.
Okay.
Okay, let me know when you guys finished. So I don't see everyone's. Make sure you have your username here, guys. Are we done? Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy. Go ahead and onboard you. Go ahead and run the script. So we have a certain, let me go ahead and, so I got all the list of people's usernames, and we have a script to onboard the people to the GitHub. Okay, so it turns out I have to run this code from that foundation point. What happened is sync. So make sure you have a new Google account while I'm doing this.
No.
Farhad, when you say Google account, do you want us to open a new Google Cloud platform?
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
$100 credit.
New one. Okay, got it.
See the invited people. Spelling. Oh, since I upgraded to the new. Okay, since I upgraded to the paid version, I did invite all the list of people, but you can see I have to also buy a seat for you. So we have a monthly cost for each people. Let me make sure we have everyone there. Okay, so Sylvia, some others you will need to go ahead and accept. I will need to do somehow by manual, I think. Can you guys check from your side? Are you able to access? From GitHub, can you navigate to your GitHub and then look for the FutureCore? Did you add your resume as well?
Yeah.
Okay, let me make sure. Let's test with your resume. So, organization. Muhammad Karim, right? M. Karim. Okay. Sit. New seat formatting. Can you check? I just navigate to GitHub. GitHub/FutureCore.com.
I still didn't get it.
Just give me 1 second. FutureCore. No, not .com. Just Future. Okay. Are you part of the organization already? Can you go back? No. Why is that? Let's try to invite. Okay. So I got it. Sylvia and others, can you guys go ahead and try? Yeah, you take a one more time now. Navigate to github.futurecore.com. And then on the top, you should see the invitation.
I joined.
I see 12 people already joined, so I should see that. On top. You should look on top of it, all the way to the top. Did you get it? Check your email then. Can you refresh one more time? Can you go back? Refresh the page.
Maybe I'm in different group or no?
Try it.
Check this.
I think I did it for everyone. Is it looping?
Yeah, you did invite me to a couple times, but I'm not receiving anything.
I think we need to buy seats to retry.
Well, you did skip me.
I did not receive anything either.
Yep, you are right, Safa.
Yeah, now it's working.
I got it.
So total is going to be $80 per month. That's good.
Why you avoided the paid version?
Yes, I also they told me that make it private. You cannot use our capacities.
No, it's unlimited. Unlimited.
I know, but there is no branch protection. They will miss that. There is no branch protection. Some features are not available.
Yeah. They offer unlimited for private with brand protection. Yeah. Something we need.
You did anything for it? You just want photo. Did you
I just got the invitation and then.
where'd you do it?
Okay, done. I invite all the people.
How you nerede buldun invitation abi? No.
Only Nader Kayıf. Who's that? Okay.
And I didn't get anything. I don't know why. I just lost everything. But
Did you add your username?
yes.
Sure.
Üç kere yaptım. I did 3 times not working. I can't see the invitation. That's the problem.
Okay, can you send me your username?
Right.
Your username is not here.
I just put it there. Mine was Sakna. Where's my
The second one.
She put her name on.
How you did that?
She just override it.
Good job, girl. And I can still take the invitation.
Somebody override mine, so where I find this empty spot, I just did it.
Okay.
And she doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's a problem. I'm just sitting here. I didn't get invitation. Yeah, you're just good job. Go
Come
ahead.
on, it was empty. And that's right.
I didn't see that. Anyway, that's fine.
So you want us to create a cluster on this new Google account that we create?
Yep. So you
Nodes.
want to make sure you have a Google account on the new account, and then create a Kubernetes cluster, and then you will need to deploy the common tools.
Okay, how many nodes would you like us to have in the cluster?
I'm sorry.
How many nodes?
How many nodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, specification for the cluster, like a CPU and everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you that.
Okay.
So let me actually jump to the teams and then make sure you guys have a members, and then I will need to add to the team secret usable clients. And then from here, do I have a script to add the users to the group? Sync user. Add the users to the team. Okay. So this one is responsible to do that. But what I would like to do is, just give me 1 second. Did you already create your accounts?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
It was a mistake from me. It was empty spot, I just tried to in.
Funny.
I will need to make sure all of you have create organization users.
Also, number. That's not a people that is mine. Yes. And then
I just saw that. That's fine. Thanks. Yeah.
What time is it? Okay.
So now everybody will be added to the teams, 2 members. Yes, yeah. 25 people now.
Problem is,
Yeah.
are they gonna do the problem?
Perhaps I just get the introduction still. Is that okay?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I will need to make sure you do have personal host access as well.
Can you try?
Yeah, can you try to SSH personal host?
Sure. Actually, right?
Permission network, I got it. So the problem is, I was wondering if it's going to. Oops. Yep, they are onboarded. Can you try one more time? Can you guys try to run from your local host ssh.bastion.fujicop.com? Make sure you have your GitHub account as username.
Logged in.
Perfect.
SSH.
I'm gonna send it to Slack. That's good that we have that script. Just imagine if I'm gonna create that people. It will take forever to onboard everyone.
Remember, it was not like this when we joined. It took us like.
Okay, if you have a permission tonight, who has a permission tonight?
So
Okay.
we're gonna run with our username, right?
Yes.
Me, I got a permission denied.
Okay,
I have to create too.
now I'm gonna tell you what's going on. So, let me go ahead and.
True.
So, what's going on right now? I did everyone add to the organization, and now I onboarded to the members team. So, what happened? You are not able to access to the Bastion host. The reason why you are not able to access is you don't have your public key uploaded to GitHub. So let me show you. Basically, what you have to do on your local hosts, you will need to run cat tilde/.sshid.rsa.pub. Okay, so you're gonna get this public key. Navigate to your GitHub. Inside your GitHub, you're gonna navigate to settings. From the settings, you're gonna go to SSH. Click on new and go ahead and add that new key. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and run the script one more time, and then you should be able to log in. Okay, that means you have your GitHub account is public is uploaded.
I can see the, I can get the invitation for the record still.
So can you send me your username one more time?
Yeah. Okay.
To the Slack, right? Did you send it to Slack? Saving it.
So the host name should be bastion.fujicop.com, right?
Bastion.fujicop.com.
The host name.
Got it.
Hey Farhat, why did you remove me?
Just give me 1 second. I'm just testing some stuff, okay?
Alright.
I'll do that.
Got it.
So wait, Dandy to supposed to move to. Did you get it?
Yes. I already accepted.
Log in it, okay.
I updated my key. It says key is already in use because I already edited it before, but still.
I mean, you're telling your username. Why that? Actually, you are still in the organization. I did not delete you. Okay, so can you guys go ahead and who has the problems with the SSHing? Who else? How many?
Me too.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna run the script one more time. So I'm gonna run the last time the script. If you are misspelling your username, you are not able to log into system. Just to you remember, okay? I'm gonna run the script one more time, and the script should go ahead and onboard you. So there is no problem anymore. You want to take a look from your side. Okay.
Already invite us with that.
I'll log in it. Can you go ahead and try to log in one more time? You run SSH.
CT.
Sorry, just to double confirm, we are SSHing from our local host, right?
Yes.
Still permission denied for some reason.
Same for me. I have permission denied too.
Okay. Are you in the organization?
Yes. Permission denied.
Oh, I already SSH.
Yes.
Cool.
You're misspelling, guys. You're misspelling your username. What's your username?
EMRAHLIK.
Emrah ILIAK.
It's ILIK.
Okay.
Efsane kopu alıp kendisini yazdın mı?
Yalnız mı?
Tabii. Yaptın mı?
Kendisi ben söyleyeyim mi?
Söylemedi de işte.
Okay, maybe
Come on, guys.
okay, now I got it.
You replaced the Sadiq, right?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
I told you. Come on, just use your mind. Just replace the username. That's it, right?
Yes, yes. I did.
Okay. So now, so you have a Bosnian host, and let me go confirm if we have a telephone code or no. Telephone commands. Okay, we have telephone. We have a CTO. default. Okay, I think it's ready. So, what you're gonna do? You will go ahead. Yes. So you will go ahead and what you will need to do from your side, you will need to deploy the cluster infrastructure by following the README file. Do you remember that I created a PDF file for you? So you will use exactly that PDF file to be able to deploy the cluster infrastructure. So it's supposed to be demo. Actually, it's supposed to be members, new members. This is the prerequisite thing. What is that? Let me see. Wait. Where is that? Did I lost my... Okay, so what I'm going to do, I will give you the access to the cluster infrastructure. So from your side, what you will need to do, you will need to deploy the cluster infrastructure by following this documentation. Let me make sure you have access. All right, manage access, invite a team, members. They should have read access. So take a look. If you will click on the FujiCorp, are you in the DevOps team or how did you get all the repositories? Can you go to the repositories, please?
These are public.
Okay.
Yeah, these are
How about the cluster infrastructure?
No, this is like I'm saying it just now.
Yeah.
Private.
Okay, cluster infrastructure is there. So now you have a read access to the cluster infrastructure. Go ahead and follow this documentation and let me know when you're finished. We're gonna go ahead and deploy the command tools. So what you will need to do by following this documentation, you will need to deploy the cluster infrastructure code. Okay. So only the problem is maybe my bash host is going to be overloaded. Can you guys from the left side, can you guys go ahead and follow the deploy the bash the cluster infrastructure, and then make sure that your Kubernetes cluster is up and running, and then we're gonna jump from the right side. Okay. So 4 people on the left side. Let me confirm what I was doing.
Redux doesn't allow
Only a read access? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm trying to clone it, but it doesn't allow me to use that password. Or just want my.
I'm sorry, which documentation? I cannot find it on README or Wiki.
Just give us just a second. You're not able to clone. Can you work on getting your face?
It's asking for username and password.
Okay, it should ask. Yes, GitHub.
Again, when you go to Wiki, there's a pages on the right. Go click on that.
Is going on from something. Are you able to clone?
Dang it.
I want to see.
There are a few pages. Which one? Like common cluster deployment one or Bastion host? Oh no. Common cluster deployment, right?
Yep, it works.
Farhad, excuse me, mine is still denying. Is there any issue on my side or at your side?
So just give me 1 second. I'm checking.
We're going to cloud tool, and from there we are doing cluster or
Go to your go to the Bastion host. When you go there, clone the GitHub repository in cluster infrastructure in your Bash.
Okay, right.
Yeah. It might ask you your username and password from the GitHub, put in there, and you will be able to clone. Okay.
By using the HTTPS, right?
So can I increase the memory without shutting down? I think it should possible to do that.
No, I think you have to stop it. Stop this.
I want to increase it because it will overload right now
Yeah.
for sure. Let's see.
Before we start, do you have any specification for the cluster?
No, just give me 1 second before. Just I'm checking something with the version first. Can you guys wait?
Permission denied.
HTTPS.
This one, right? That one, this one.
This is HTTPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Okay, so let me see how many people is on the system. Last. Okay, guys. First thing, what do you have to do? You have to clone the cluster infrastructure into your local host. So from your local host, what you will need to do? You will need to use exactly this requisites. Let me go ahead and give you the example PDF TFVars. You will use exactly that TFVars to be able to deploy.
Can you please record the steps?
I'm not going to do any steps.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, just stay.
okay, so you will need to use exactly this PDF file, not PDF file, the TFVars to be able to deploy your Bastion host, but not the Bastion host again, cluster infrastructure. So what you will need to do, first thing what you're gonna do, you will make sure your username, you have your Google account, right? Then what you're gonna do, you will navigate to AWS IAM. Do you remember that? IAM and admin, sorry. So from here, what you're gonna do, you will go ahead and create the, you will navigate on the left side, service account. Do you remember that service account? I did mention that we have to create a service account to be able to SSH or to be able to work with the Google Cloud. So what you're gonna do again, admin, IAM admin, service account. From the service account, create a new service account and go ahead and give the name. So in my case, I'm going to use the FujiCorp service account. Yes. No, I cannot connect to this one. If you will navigate to that page, I'm saying whatever you have to do. You don't have to see what I'm you can scroll left or right, and you can follow me.
Now, how we can screen one to open this menu?
I don't think I can connect to this one right now. Is it the office, this one?
Yeah, the terminal, it's probably still open. The heat.
Yeah, you should add it. Actually, why you don't ask me?
Can I turn on this one? Do you guys have a control? Can you
Yeah,
turn
it's
on?
there.
Let's see.
I think
Yeah, I get you.
Hey, can you rewind that?
Did ask about some other way to know that. Should that? But I have it. Why is not asking? Because.
okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, no, that's the problem.
I get you. Nation, only the way we choose brown, we have. Station depends on the only way that we can. Right.
Yeah, because you're public.
Yeah, because. You know, I get you. Thank you.
Okay, so I know for sure the Bastion host is gonna stop. So everyone who's on the left side,
Because it's all overwhelming?
yeah. So whenever I do the Bastion host, I use the low memory, and then yeah. So we're gonna have some problems with that, but so for now, let's go ahead and jump to gCloud. From the gCloud, what are you gonna do? We have to create the first service account. So let me actually show you that PDF file. I'm not sure why I'm not able to find it. Let me go ahead and pause. Do you remember that I created some PDF file?
By Slack, I guess.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Demo.
So it should be some kind of demo. No. Interview demo. Demo 2. Here we go. Okay, let me reference to this one so it's going to be much clearer for you. So if you remember on the demo, second demo, what we did, I asked you to create the cluster infrastructure, right? So we should have a Google account and then go to the service account and create the credentials. So to be able to create the credentials, we have to go ahead and navigate to AWS IAM, not AWS again, I keep saying AWS. So you have to navigate to your IAM admin, and then on the right side you will see the service accounts. Okay. So you're gonna navigate your mouse to the IAM admin, and then click on the service account. So then what you're gonna do? You're gonna click on the create the service account. So that is going to be your access key secret key, but it's going to be just a one file. So we're gonna go ahead and click on the create the service account, and then we're going to provide the name, service account, FutureCorp service account. It doesn't matter, name doesn't matter, okay? So go ahead and provide the name, then click on the create. So when you click on the create, go ahead and attach the role. Do you remember that we have to attach the roles? So we have to go ahead and attach the roles. Select the role, project owner, add the role. Another role is going to be for Kubernetes, engine admin. And we're gonna add the DNS administration. Then we're gonna add storage admin, right? Am I missing something else, guys? Old members?
No.
No.
Okay. So we add 4 rules, and this list of rules will be attached to the service account, and that service account will have access to manage all these resources. Are you guys done? What's going on, Sylvia?
It took some time with the verification.
What kind of verification? Do you need some kind of verification to be able to?
Yes.
Are you done?
I'm trying to follow.
No, you're not trying to follow me, you're trying to follow him.
Yes.
And he's lost as well. So you guys are
So
following
can you
each other.
repeat from the beginning this?
Yeah, sure.
It's very hot.
Sorry for.
That's fine. He's gonna show you.
Oh, thank you.
So now, as soon as we attach the, let me go ahead and record. So as soon as we attach the privileges to this service account, we have to go ahead and create. So we're gonna go ahead and click on create. Then we're not going to provide any role names. We're gonna click on just done. So as soon as you click on done, you will see that service account doesn't have any keys. So do you see in my case it's showing FujiCorp service account, no keys on the right side. So that means doesn't have access key, secret key. So we will need to click on that service account again. Then scroll down and add the key. So upload the existing key and create a new key. So we're gonna click on the create a new key, okay? So when you click on the create a new key, it will ask two type of the keys. So we're gonna select JSON, which is the recommended. Click on create, and you will see your visual, your Chrome will go ahead and start downloading. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and download. So I can see it is downloaded and it is showing on the left side. Do you see this? So I'm gonna ask you to do something right now. So you're gonna make it small, your window, and open the terminal and then make it smaller as well. So you will see two windows, right? Here, we're gonna run SCP to the remote system. So we have to SCP this file to the Bastion host to be able to work with that, okay? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna run SCP -RV. Then on the left side, what we have to download to the remote system, right? On the left side, my Chrome is showing that I have that file, right? I'm gonna click on it and scroll down to my terminal. And my terminal found exactly full path of the file. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and specify fsadekov in my case, my GitHub username. Okay, so in your case, it's going to be your GitHub username. You should remember your GitHub. Don't laugh. Why are you guys laughing? Because you keep typing fsadekov?
Yes.
Okay, so in my case, I'm going to provide fsadekov at bastion.fujicorp.com, and then I'm going to use a semicolon, and then ~/. Okay, that will upload to my Bastion host in my current home directory. Yes.
So, -RV, what's the meaning of RV?
RV, so it's R is stand for whatever the files you have, it will go to the recursive. V means
Recursively?
yes. V means it will show you all the information. Is it uploaded on?
Secure copy, RV, recursively.
Recursively down, like V means it will show you the more information, like a debug. I use always V to be able to see is it uploading properly or not. R means just uploading the entire folder. Who's lost? You? Okay.
They're saying permission denied.
You misspell your username.
Can you please repeat the process one more time?
Okay, I'm gonna do one more time. All right, so I'm gonna run SCP -RV fsadekov. Actually, before fsadekov, I have to provide the file name, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and drag down this file to my terminal. So which means this file should be uploaded to bastion.fujicorp.com, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and provide my username at bastion.fujicorp.com /. I'm going to press enter, and then it will upload if it is showing exit status code 0, that means it did successfully uploaded. You misspelled something.
I have permission denied as well.
Yeah, permission denied. Yes.
For running exactly command inside the bash host, you should run that command in your local host.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, in the local host. Okay.
So again, I'm gonna repeat one more time, guys.
Okay.
Whenever you see this fancy output, in my case, you can think about that's my local host.
Yeah.
Okay? When you see the just black and white, that's a remote host.
Got it. Yep, forgot first.
Open the another terminal. I told you from the beginning. Open the another terminal.
Please, share the numbers.
No. No. But my command is going to be different for you.
Hello? My audio stopped working.
Your audio start working?
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
The exit stats should be 1 or 0.
0.
Mine is 1.
You guys are good?
Static exit 0.
Actual access back since the what was that? The service. Yeah, the same actually. Did you actually run it again for me? No, what should I ask? Ask me to run the script.
There you go.
Running.
You can do
Did he upload it? His public key to the GitHub?
Yeah,
that probably
You have to update this one.
service is not showing.
No, I just could add just 2 rows. Is it okay or should I?
No, you should add all of them. All of them.
Can you show me the?
Yes, just give me one
From the
second.
row. Service account from term. You have it. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Are you able to SSH?
Yeah.
It did work? Can you spell the username? Okay. You always should remember your username. So you should be able to type anytime whenever it needs to be typed. So whenever you want to do that. So for example, to be able to SSH to Bastion host, you have to use your username. See this? So in my case, I'm using my own username to be able to SSH. So you should remember your username and then make sure it is using it's using exactly the same keys. Make sure it's spelled correctly. So, and then, so you can see right now all this list of people was onboarded automatically by running one script. So all this, how you are able to SSH to Bastion host. So I did not add your username manually. You guys remember that? I just run the script. Basically what the script is doing, it's getting your GitHub username from my organization, and then it's getting your public key, and then adding that public key to the Bastion host automatically for me. So I don't have to manually. So I don't have to manually just add all the public keys and the private keys. The public keys. So you should remember your username. So you will reference that username everywhere. And then So what I'm going to do, I already SCP the file, right? Did you guys SCP? How many of you already SCP? So guys, online guys, did you already also SCP your files as well?
Yes, we did to the local host.
All right. So now what we have here from our side, what we have to do, we have to clone the cluster infrastructure. So on another terminal, go ahead and navigate to GitHub, and then from the GitHub, look for the cluster infrastructure. From the cluster infrastructure, go ahead and clone the username, clone the repository. Git clone. In my case, I'm gonna go ahead and use the HTTPS, or I can go ahead and use the username password. Let me go ahead and use the username password. We did. I don't remember my public username password. Let me go ahead and do this. So
But you,
I don't.
for cloning, you want us to be in the Bastion host?
Yes, inside the Bastion host, sir. Let me clone it. So in my case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the SSH key because I don't use the authentication. I have MFA authentication. That's why I cannot use it. I cannot clone it. So I have to use the. I have to add my public key to be able to clone it. Let me do that. So in your case, you can do exactly the same strategy if you are using multi-factor authentication. Okay. Yes.
Everybody else should use
Yes, HTTP. Yes, everyone should use HTTP. So right now, what do you have to do? You have to click on the navigate to repository and click on the clone HTTPS. Click on copy. In my case, I'm going to use the HTTPS, SSH. So I'm going to go ahead and run git clone inside the Bastion host in my home directory. Do you see this? So go ahead and do that, and then you should be able to clone the cluster infrastructure. In my case, I did it using SSH. Now we have a cluster infrastructure, and we have our credentials. Now we're gonna navigate to cluster infrastructure. So do you remember that Visual Studio? You guys, you used to use the Visual Studio to be able to open any remote hosts. You can do that exactly same thing right now, but I will not suggest to do that. Let's go ahead and try to deploy without replacing all the files. So what do we have to do from here? We have to go ahead and run, go to the cluster infrastructure and then kube cluster. So inside the kube cluster, what we have to do, we have to run the gcloud out login. So what it does, it will generate some URL for you. So you will see the yes, you will click on yes, and then it will generate some URL for you. Do you see this? Gcloud out login. No, you misspell it. I can see from here. AU. Yeah. So you will see this output. Click on Y, yes, and you will see the URL. And you're gonna click on the URL. You will see it is going to open the your login Google login page. So you will need to log in with exactly the account you create. So in my case, it's going to be Futucorp 343, and then click on allow, and then it will generate the token for me. Do you see this token? I'm going to copy this token, go back to your previous page, and provide that token and press enter. Does that make sense? Make sense? No? Repeat, run the same commands and then relog in. And you should be able to do it.
But where should I put that URL?
You should click on the command and then click on the URL. It will open it on the visuals on your Chrome automatically.
No.
Just a link. Copy that link and then open on Chrome. Oh yeah, right? Oh yeah. Yeah, we need the hands-on
Yeah.
experience.
So we enter the code here and then the address.
Yes. Now you follow me. Did you finish? All of you? So you're gonna follow? You're gonna follow the video? Okay, that's fine. So now what we have to do, we have to run gcloud projects list, and it will show you one project. Usually it should show one project. And do you see the project ID, which is the first one? Copy that gcloud config set project and then provide the name and then press enter. gcloud config set the project and the project ID. To be able to get the project, we run the gcloud project list and then it did provide the project. So basically you can understand on your local host, you are going specific AWS region.
The project ID does not have to be same as yours, right? It's ours.
Yes, it's unique ID.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
What if I have two projects? Which one do we choose?
So which one you create a service account? That's the one you're gonna choose. Why you created two projects?
I didn't. I don't know why it's coming up as two.
Okay, so in that case, navigate to your gcloud. From your gcloud, you guys don't have, okay? So you're gonna navigate to your gcloud. From your gcloud, you're gonna click on the drop option and then select the project and make sure you have service account exactly in that project and copy the ID. So in my case, I'm going to click on the projects right here and then you will see the project, right? So in your case, you're gonna select one of them. You will have two of them, right? In my case, for example, I'm gonna select sample project, and inside that sample project, I'm gonna go to IAM admin, and then click on service account and see exactly that service account is created exactly in that project. Make sure you have service account.
Thank you.
And then copy the ID.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we set up the gcloud. We set up the we just copied the our JSON file. Now I am inside this directory. So inside my home directory, kube cluster, right? So cluster infrastructure and the kube cluster folder. So here, what we have to do, we have to we have to run the sh enable APIs sh. So what it does, it will go ahead enable the APIs for you. Okay, so you will go ahead and enable the APIs. Then what you're gonna do, last thing you are going to do, you're gonna go ahead and copy this TOVARS. And then here, you're gonna go ahead and vim cluster dot TOVARS. Did you run sh enable sh? Yeah, it will take some time. Yes. Yeah, let me pause it.
I have a question. I remember that these project names are from my first gcloud, but I open it new, but I can't see that one.
You log in with the old account, that's why.
So how to fix that?
gcloud out login. Again, you're gonna do the same commands.
Out login.
Enable API, did it work right?
Yeah, it worked. Yes.
Yeah.
And there's the verification code.
gcloud APIs that's Monks by KFE created to be able to enable all the APIs before we run Terraform offline.
Oh, that's cool.
So in my case, I'm not going to do deployment because I have a cluster up and running already.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
See?
yes, yes. Yeah.
Little, come on.
Yeah, I'll
We're
show
gonna create
you.
this file or?
I will show you.
You guys sit together next time.
No.
So you can follow. You can follow.
I will show you how to show.
We are doing some
Yes.
innovation for you.
Okay. Innovation, okay.
Can you,
Good experience for me.
write my
No.
this one?
You can improve not just
No.
for you,
The G
Improve your
chord
patient.
after the
Improve my patient, right?
for teaching methodology.
G chord to the
Come on, Yusuf Abi. Okay, let's enable that. Let's create that file, and then we're gonna go ahead and smoke.
Wait.
Show me the command again for the
Yes.
ID.
Repeat again. What was that?
Can you show me the command again with the project ID after we get the list of the projects?
Sure. This one. Config default.
Yeah, I see it. Thanks.
That'd be correct.
No. Just keep talking.
Ну, чтобы у тебя кластер up and running был завтра. Monday, чтобы у тебя был кластер up and running и command tools тоже.
So we are using like G Cloud CLI.
Yes. You are learning G-Cloud as well, see, in the project. You know over the AWS. So,
Good job.
So
he didn't use their Sadeko?
No.
Okay, good.
that's improvement.
That's improvement, right? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. Okay, so can you please follow me? So, did you run the enable SH? You did not run it,
She did it already.
Yeah, I did.
but you did.
She's my
Okay,
helper.
okay, perfect. So, if you run that,
But
now what we have to do? Yes.
sorry for interrupting. You see, in her case, only one line appears. It's the
That's fine.
I do have three.
That's
why I'm
fine.
asking.
That's fine.
Ooh.
In her case, she enabled it manually. She had an account. That's why. So in your case, is it a new account?
Yes,
Your case? In
yes.
your case,
Yes.
it doesn't make sense. Whatever, just keep it. So let's go to what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and deploy the cluster infrastructure, right? So to be able to deploy the cluster infrastructure, we have to create our own TFVARs to be able to override whatever the variables we have, right? So let's go ahead and create a vim cluster.tfvars. Then inside the cluster.tfvars, you're gonna go ahead and copy exactly the TFVARs I provided for you, and then you're gonna put it here. Okay, here, what we're gonna do, you're not going to touch the Google region. You're gonna go ahead and change the Google bucket name to something else in your case, okay? In my case, I'm not going to touch anything because it's 100% is matching to my
We have to
account.
create a bucket now.
Farhad,
Just give me 1 second. What was the
We
question?
have to create the bucket manually and then
No, you should not create a bucket because Terraform is creating bucket for us. Do you remember?
We have just
Yeah,
put the
change the
name,
name.
that's it?
Yes,
The name.
yes.
Command, it will,
but remember you were saying, we are not creating manual, but what happens if that bucket name already exists? So it's gonna fail, right? So we should
Yeah.
create manual.
You should use something new here, So that's going to be Terraform will create for you bucket. Does that make sense? Make sure this is the unique name here, and that's it. Why you guys keep logging out? Okay, so did you guys change this? Then what do you have to do? Google email is supposed to be changed as well. And the last thing is you have to add domain name as well in your case. In my case, I don't have to do. So in your case, you have to use the Google domain name as well. In my case, it's fujicorp.com. In your case, it's going to be your own domain name, okay? You're gonna add that. I did not add it. So let me go ahead and give you the latest one.
Thank you.
I don't want you to misspell
Project-
something.
project name.
So replace all the values, go ahead and save and quit. Then I'm gonna show you the last command to deploy the code.
So after the last command, the infrastructure is going to be ready.
Only the Kubernetes cluster. Only Kubernetes cluster, but not the command tools. So we're gonna implement the command tools. Hopefully we will finish today.
How we can find the Google project
Farhad, I feel like I might be asking the same thing. Google Project ID, we keep it same or put ours?
Yours,
Okay, got
not
it.
mine.
Thank you.
Yes, yes, of
Who
course.
was that person?
So that's why I'm looking for.
It was me, Azim.
Okay.
He's a student, he's curious, you ask him.
Give me your name.
Your name.
G Cloud project list, so this
List of name and
that's the way you
tier
will get the
part.
project name.
Here, I got it. When
What is
you
That part.
connected,
No,
you can find
no.
it. How you got that?
I said, G Cloud project list.
Yes,
You
yes.
want some?
I don't wanna go there. Chupa, okay. Region is not matter, version is not matter.
So you never touch the variables.tf. You touch only tfvars, okay? You never touch it. So you will touch that files whenever we have to implement some features to the existing code. Does that make sense?
I can't hear you.
Because you're typing right now.
Yes.
Why you're typing if I send it to group?
Ah, okay. But I already changed everything. Okay. Name. Ah.
Not semicolon. Equal. Come on, little.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm trying to do my best, but okay.
Okay, now what we're gonna do, as soon as you add that file, now from your side, you're gonna exit from here, save and quit. Then you're gonna run Terraform init. As soon as you run the Terraform init, it will go ahead and download all the packages for you. Then what you're gonna do, you're gonna go ahead and run a Terraform apply var file equal to var file is equal to cluster tfvars. You're gonna go ahead and run this command. In my case, it's failing with the FujiCorp service account JSON file not found, no such file directory. You will have exactly the same problem. I will show you what's going on. Exactly the same error, right?
Yep.
If you see the same error, that's good. And then what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and run the one command. So in our home directory, we know we have a one JSON file that is storing our credentials, right? So what we have to do, we have to run cp -rv / JSON space / FujiCorp service account JSON. You're gonna run this command. It will copy and it will make sure it's following the same name. It's following the naming convention. Please go ahead and run that command. I send it to group. And then if you're gonna go ahead and run Terraform apply one more time, as you can see, now it's working for me. Go ahead and run the yes. In my case, I don't have to do anything. Go ahead and say yes. I am sure memory is going to be crazy right now.
Let's take a break.
Yes.
You watch it, bro.
While it's doing the deployment, let's go ahead and take a break for 15 minutes. Brother?
Yeah, I got it. And Terraform, of course, we will run it after the group came back. Okay? As an we run it, right? Oops.
Yes.
Just type there. Okay, there's something wrong with your two bars, yeah.
The speakers started.
It started? Okay, I'll be there. What happened here? This is not project ID. This is your project ID, you sure?
Yes.
And this is your project name?
Yeah, look, I copy everything, so it's the same thing. My first project, this is the ID.
Okay. Where is your, you have it in Safari? Or where is it?
No, I don't have.
Okay. So let me go, they're speaking. I mean, I should do it for that. I'll come back
Thank you.
to do it, okay? But is the problem is with your TF bars updated, and that there shouldn't be any space with the project name, I think. Fix that.
Okay,
Let
so
me grab my stuff.
my first project. Come on, see.
We should do our domain, right?
Yeah, I did, but
You're gonna talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you find a job?
Oh, yeah.
You were already working?
It's like 3 months.
Oh, yeah, June, right? You're from anywhere? The same group? You
I am from September.
September.
Yeah, but then Enver joined us with
Since 3 months you're working as DevOps engineer.
Yeah.
Change. Yes, for you.
That's my
It should be ours, right?
Yeah.
Should.
Mm-hmm. You see the name of the project is my first project. It's matching. Then
So what about the bucket name?
hey guys, come on.
We
You
have
wanna have
problems
pizza
here.
and cola and there is some fruits if you want.
Can be a problem with my bucket.
Hepsine sen de haber verdin ona göre. Canım adam.
Did you create your bucket manually?
Okay, so I put the email to this.
Is it working for Google?
No, this is from AWS. I didn't find it.
So when did you create your bucket?
Check over here. It will play.
You create?
It will create when you log it from a cache.
So how did you name it?
Just my first name.
Because our domain name is not connected with Google. Yeah, and then keep put off. It's not connected.
Oh, big winners.
Yeah, it's DNS. You should create a DNS. Okay, you have on AWS, but you should put Google's name servers. You remember? So your domain name is at Route 53, but you should put the name servers to Google.
Okay, so I should go on the where was the
Cloud DNS. Create the zone.
Sylvia, your husband tell me, are you hungry? I said yes. And he said, no money, no honey. I said, yes, it is true. And he told me, no honey, more money. What does it mean, you know? No. I will tell you now what this means. So should we create
Siz şeyinizi ne zaman yaptınız? DNS falan. Onları ne yazdınız siz DNS'e?
Hangi mesela?
TFR
She got the same error and she's funny.
Yeah.
That's fine. Everybody got the same error.
Siz domain name'ini aldın mı Google'a?
Evet.
You put your domain, you put the name servers, everything?
Yes.
Yeah, should be.
We
DNS
need it.
manager, DNS.
Neler
Bucket.
yaptınız onları ya?
Nasıl?
Yok.
Valla harbiden iyi söyledin Adnan. Ne ara yaptınız? Ben de aynı problemi yaşıyorum. Nasıl yaptıysanız söyleyin de biz de yapalım.
Kimse yapmadı.
Yeah,
Şimdi
you
bekliyoruz.
should, you should carry your Route 53 domain.
Yep.
Are you guys getting the two errors?
Yeah, DNS error, yeah.
Yes.
And
That's fine.
S3 bucket, I need storage.
Yeah, I had the same issue. Full control not defined.
Don't worry, we will fix after break. I do have 3 errors.
It will break, there is no oxygen.
Yeah.
But isn't that created a cluster for you, Adnan?
Say it again.
It's create a cluster, right? FushiCorp dash cluster, but it didn't create the DNS and bucket. But you should have the cluster. Do you?
Yeah, it's creating the cluster, but you should provide the domain name. It's
Yeah.
creating storage automatically.
Now look at this, 6 CPU and 22 gigabyte memory.
Really?
Yeah, look at this, 6 CPUs and 22 megabyte memory. I don't know how long it's gonna last for $300.
Wow. Seriously?
Let me check one. Wow, yeah.
So that's the goal. 1 month and out of here.
Betul қандай?
Yeah, it's a lot. You can edit the cluster, Emma.
You think it will edit the cluster? It will support everything that we will have to do? With less CPU and the memory? I don't know. I do have errors. 3 errors.
Public game just sit it. Okay, nice. Nasıl sit? Videodan görüyoruz anneciğim. Bunları kaç
Barala men au koyar mısın?
Sen oturmuşsun.
Окей, ты не знаешь, может, смысл себе. Я не катастрофу поцелуйства.
Ne? Ne? İşte o. Tapay bu.
Да, тут Павел.
Kim?
А задал, Дима.
Ha, yine.
Okay, online guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
So, are you guys getting some errors?
I think everybody's getting theirs. It's a bit too lot now.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the screen of from the Sylvia, and then fix the problem from here. So let's wait for others, and then we can start. So,
May I ask a question?
yes, please go ahead.
So the previous command was when we copied the JSON into the FujiCorp service account JSON. So could you explain what did you copy? Everything with the JSON extension, you copied to the file called FujiCorp service account, or what?
You copied the JSON file from the home directory to your current directory. That's it.
Oh, so basically there was only one JSON file, right? That's why you didn't specify the name.
Yes, I did not specify the name because the names are totally different, and that command is going to work for everyone.
Okay.
So the bucket, not define it. You let them know. Just let them know to start.
Sure.
Çağırdım hocaya gönderdim. Şu adam hocam diyor.
Really?
Hocam hocam psikoloji bir şey daha yazdı diyor.
Bexul, where is Bexul from?
They left already.
Party?
Okay, you're right.
My friend, you are surviving, you know. People slowly you answer, you know. Now,
Google domain name.
bakalım kanka.
Hocam bu domain name'i Google domain name diyor. Biz ama AWS'in Amazon name.
Evet.
I was provided that.
NS server'da taşıyacak. Name server.
Bir de forward yaptık mı? Şartlar geliyor.
Okay. So when you run Terraform apply, you forgot to add a WAR file. That's why it didn't work. So wait for it, and then
Thank
it should.
you.
It did work for you?
No.
Well, I haven't. What kind of error you got?
The same. DNS and bucket.
So DNS and the bucket name.
I'm trying to change.
So not define it. Not define it. Can you give me a second?
Ben de kaydettim. Yaşına
İşte oradan devam etmem lazım. Ama bence devam etmiyorum.
I saw that, Imra. Just we are seeing the exactly similar error. Let me see.
Why?
So it's not able to create a bucket.
Well, also, I think we have not transferred the domain from AWS to Google. Maybe that will be another reason.
No, that's not the big problem right now. Did you add storage admin access to the service account?
Yes.
So what we are missing then? Where is the account? The cloud is open.
Where you go, there is a cloud.
C cluster is created,
Yeah,
but
I'm already climbing.
and the storage. Project maintenance. DNS admin project, Google project, maybe competent. No, I think so. Why is that?
No, I got 2 errors.
Two errors, which is the bucket.
Yeah, same story.
Yeah. Okay. So let's create that two files manually. So let me go ahead and share mine. Let me use that. So can you guys let me provide access to share. Can you guys see Betul's screen? Can you guys see?
Yes.
So is this the error you are getting right now?
Yes.
Okay, so what we have to do, we have to fix that problem. So for now, it's probably something wrong with the Terraform code. We will have to test. So let's don't waste our time, and then let's go ahead and create that two files are two resources manually. So first thing what we have to do, we have to navigate to DNS network, and from the DNS we have to navigate Cloud DNS. So here we have to create the zone. Yes. So that is exactly is not creating for some reason. It doesn't make sense why. It was working before, and our code is working without any problem, but here is not working for some reason. So you log on with the same account, you log on everything, right? So let's go ahead and create that. So first thing is going to be the DNS. So it's going to be, for some reason, it's using cluster infrastructure. It's supposed to be FujiCorp. Let's go ahead and create a zone.
You know what?
You have to navigate. Please follow me. Can you go to Cloud? Yes.
In one of the video, you mentioned that Max changed the name, so it's cluster infrastructure.
Exactly. For some reason, yeah, it's using the different name. We have to take a look at that code. So right now, I'm not going to take a look. We don't want to waste our time. So let's go ahead and fix the problem by going to network services and then Cloud DNS, and then create a zone, and let's call it FujiCorp. Then DNS name is going to be exactly your domain name. So in my case, I'm going to use the betula.com. You see this? I'm going to use exactly the same name, and I'm not going to touch anything else. I'm going to go ahead and create. Okay, so since we create that, we can go ahead and ignore that, and then we can go ahead and jump to the bucket. So let's go ahead and create the bucket. So in this case, going to be the storage. From the storage, we're gonna jump to browser, and then we should see nothing here, and then click on the create. And then we're gonna go ahead and provide the name, continue, and then we're not gonna touch anything else, continue, and it's supposed to be type code line. So make sure you're selecting code line, continue, and then I'm not going to touch anything else. Continue, and then create. Okay, everything is done. Now we have to follow the, let me go ahead and navigate to buckets. So I can see bucket is created. Now what we have to do, we have to navigate and we have to go ahead and skip this and then jump to the cluster common tools deployment. So I think some of you already, do we have a video how to deploy the common tools in the academy? Have you guys seen, did you see the video? Okay, so I'm going to create a video for that. You will need to follow that video to be able to deploy the common tools. So you have a cluster infrastructure is deployed. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So please, all of you, please finish that the steps I show you right now and let me know. And we have to right now run the following commands. So if you will run gcloud container list, so it will tell you what kind of command you can run to be able to get the clusters. So for example, gcloud container cluster list. So if you will run that command, it will tell you that it has a FutureCore cluster. Do you see this? Run gcloud container clusters list, and then you should see one cluster there, FutureCore cluster. So what happened, Terraform created a cluster, but yes, it is created, yes. Now, what we have to do, so then we have to do here get credentials. So you're gonna run gcloud container get credentials, and then it will get the credentials for you. So if you are not able to get the credentials, so you have to provide the region. So do you see this region? And then I have to provide exactly the location. So I'm gonna go ahead and provide the zone, I mean. And is the region or zone? Yeah. So financial test accounts. And yep, that's the zone. So what do you have to do? You have to run this following command. So in my case, gcloud container cluster get credentials, FutureCore cluster, and then zone exactly the zone, whatever the zone you're using, US West 1. As soon as you run it, in my case, it's getting the following error. Do you guys see the exactly same error? So you're gonna run this command. I'm gonna send it to Slack because everyone will be able to run that. Yes.
Yeah.
So what happened? Our script is onboarding into the Bastion host, but you are not able to get privileges to your home directory. So we have to fix that problem. We have another that ticket. It's running right now. So I mean, we have on the sprint, but for now, I'm going to fix by providing you full access to your home directory. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, can you guys run the following the commands one more time? Okay, so basically what happened right now, what I did, I got all the list of people and then cut them, and then I give them the full privileges to the user. And then now you should be able to manage your users by following this for loop. So right now, if you will run the do cloud command, let me go ahead and run this command, and it should work. Do you see this?
Yes.
So what happened right now, you had a problem with the accessing to your home directory, right? So I gave you the full privileges to your home directory, and then that exactly error we have to fix in the ticket. I have that ticket on the sprint. Somebody will need to work on that ticket. So one team or somebody will need to work on that. So I was able to fix it. Now I was able to get my config. So if I'm going to run kubectl get pods inside my cluster, I am able to run the pods inside my cluster. Do you guys see this? So yes, in your case you don't have anything. In my case, I have some examples. So you were successfully deployed the cluster. Everything is ready, but we have a problem with the cluster infrastructure that we have to take a look. I'm going to take a look and then create a ticket, put it in the sprint. So, and then somebody will need a ticket. So far, whatever we did it, you will follow if you're able to finish everything, you will follow the video to be able to finish the cluster and then make sure the cluster infrastructure up and running. Then we're going to jump to the command tools. So I will create a video and then upload to Academy, or I will provide you that video so you can follow to be able to deploy the command tools. So do you guys have any questions so far? All right, if you don't have any questions, thank you for everyone. I'm gonna guys let you know. I will send it to group, and let's finish the meeting for today. And I have we have a lot of people here. I think that's not good to sit here. So, you guys have any questions?
Yes, I do. On Monday, are we going to schedule the interview for the project on Calendly?
Today or tomorrow, I will send you the calendar, and then you will need to schedule the. We will have 2 days for interviews. I think should be enough. So we will have 3 days for the interviews, and then we're gonna schedule it. Yes. Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. I will guys talk to you.
Are you going to share the questions?
Yes. I will.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.